Hello all, and welcome to this early evening's beer review. It's dawned on me that I haven't uploaded any videos in almost 6 months. I have a backlog of about 30 or so. So yeah, when you finally see this video, considering how slow my upload time is, I'm going to try my best to get these things up. But literally, if I'm lucky, I might be able to upload one a night. That's how things upload around here. So I'm going to try to get to things. So best promises, I'm hoping to get the stuff to you folks. So, what are we reviewing today? We are reviewing Maui Brewing Company's special collaboration release. Look at this nice can here called 2 Tickets to Paradise. It's a tropical Saison with hibiscus and lime, and this is a true Saison, so really farmhouse style, as opposed to just like, here's something with a very strong tasting Belgian ale to it, Belgian ale yeast to it. So, who are they collaborating with? They're collaborating with Crooked Stave, and I don't know where Crooked Stave is. Oh, Colorado apparently. So, let's read the label, shall we? Taking you to Maui 12 ounces at a time. Pack your bags and get transported to Colorado from Colorado to the islands with our Crooked Stave collaboration beer. Like-minded, independent, and innovative breweries, together taking pride in using the island's local ingredients and blending sour beer techniques. That's how you know it's like a true farmhouse style when it's got some tartness to it. Hibiscus flowers and local limes add a unique twist to this tropical tart Saison. So, 4.8 ABV, and as you're going to see, the hibiscus really shows up in here. And I do love the flavor of hibiscus. I wish it's something that hasn't really made the hop from sort of Mexican, Latin American cuisine to general American cuisine, and I have no idea why. And I have no idea why, hibiscus isn't even as popular as a flavor here in Hawaii, even though literally outside my very window is a whole row of hibiscuses growing in my garden. So, let's get to this, shall we? We're going to be using our tulip glass. Ooh, funky. So, a nice opalescent ruby red, so you can get some light here. Can't really see, that's why I like these daytime reviews, but it's beautiful. Kind of slightly cloudy, but you can still see a lot of light through it. And very nicely carbonated, with an kind of a fizzy, quickly receding, light white to rose head, so kind of pinkish. I don't think you can see it too well in this crappy lighting I have here. Let's get to the nose before the head goes and dissipates completely. Whew! Cut hay. Tart citrus. Like sweet, not... Well, yeah, sweet tarts, sour candies. Yeah. Kind of like those powdered up. Nice mineral edge to it. Some hibiscus. Not so much like hibiscus flowers don't have very much of a smell, but hibiscus in the sense of hibiscus juice. And a lot of funk. Big funk. That's why you go and know you have a true farmhouse. It's got a lot of funky kick to it. A lot of notes that are kind of an acquired taste. It's a lovely smell. This sort of tropical and fruity smell mixed with a kind of funky farmhouse smell. How can I go and quantify it? Well, it's your basic Belgian smell, but instead of being phenolic, really juicy, fruity, it's more of an earthy, grassy kind of dealio. Nicely fresh on the palate, refreshing as heck. Just hits the spot, even though it's a slightly chilly evening. Maybe a hair too cold right now. I'm going to go and full fist it to help warm it up a little bit quicker. Very much on the dry side, considering even the tartness. Very little residual sugar. Some almost imperceptible sweetness shows up in the finish. But again, almost imperceptible on the sides of your tongues. Well, an almost... I hate to say it because when you think of chalky, you think of a bad taste, but it's a sort of mineral feel on them. Mineral feel on your tongue, like after you had some high quality mineral water in the finish there. Tartness shows up in the front, intensifies greatly in the mids, and then really subsides, leaving just sort of a ghost of, you know, hibiscus kind of flavor on the tongue. And hibiscus juice, if you ever had it, is sort of naturally tart to itself. It's not really fruity. It's kind of transitioning in between fruity and flowery to me, in the front to mids. This is not full bore kind of hibiscus flower. I forget the name of Jalisco. I forget the name Fresca. I forget the name of the Spanish of the Mexican hibiscus flower drink. It's not like that completely. It's reminiscent of it, but you wouldn't think of it as an alcoholic version of it. This is definitely a farmhouse sour with that as an additive, which greatly colors it. And I'd probably say it's more of a colorative. The colorative aspect is probably stronger than the flavor aspect. You know what's really nice about the farmhouse style sour is that it seems to be broader. You know, I love sours, you know. But the way I would describe it, it seems to be broader. So you have like the sour core sourness, but it spreads out a bit more flavor-wise. You know, it's not just biting citric sourness. There's almost like, as it warms up, some grassy notes and some very, very, very earth to mineral like notes. So that minerality is kind of expanding a little bit, getting a sort of organic, for lack of a better word, sort of organic aspect to it rather than sharp stoniness. And that's really a base. Kind of above that is the floral aspect, and pervading all is the sourness. It's early sour. I'm kind of inured to the sourness of sour ales, so this is not something I would go and start someone on for sours. One, because it's rather on the sour side now that it's starting to warm up. And two, farmhouses tend to have some other smells and flavors that, like I said, take some acclimating to truly appreciate. There is a very nice I forgot to mention, there's a very nice carbonation bite to this. There's also some, like, almost rosé-like wine notes to it, just very slightly in the finish. Again, very complex, which is why it's already like 10:41. This beer is still revealing itself to me in a lot of ways. If I'd had any suggestion, and this is an excellent beer, if I had any suggestion for improvement, probably just to go and dial down the sourness, just a hint so that the other flavors, kind of expand a bit more. You don't have to suss them out. You don't really have to go and hunt for them as hard. There doesn't seem to be too many top notes, but that might just be because I'm starting to get a little congested here. And let's go ahead and try that again. Yeah, for something that's really as effervescent as it is on the palate, not too many top notes. But again, excellent. Excellent sort of, let me go and rephrase myself here. This is an excellent example of a very difficult style because of the yeast aging, the fussiness of the fermentation here. It's very difficult to get batches to come out uniform. So Farmhouse Saison, wild sour, again, probably one of the most difficult beer styles to pull off, along with light beer, which is, I would say, kind of the polar opposite flavor-wise to this style. It's so strange too, because when you sip it, even though the head's pretty much gone by now, you get a full blast of the bouquet, but not so much when it's in your mouth, which I find kind of interesting. And I don't know why this is causing my nose to run. I made sure that I ate like a couple hours ago, so it wouldn't run. So I'm starting to wonder if I have like an allergy to certain things, but hey, I love beer. So I'm going to keep on reviewing even if I have intolerances and even if it's on my nose every now and then. Okay, we're getting there 15 minutes. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. Now, this is on the West Coast in Colorado. This, like I said, it's a collaboration one. Comes in a 4-pack. A little bit on the expensive side, but very well worth it because it is actually affordable for this style. This style tends to come in, bombers or Belgian style bottles and are usually pretty expensive, and this is very reasonable for the style. Now, some people might be like, well, why am I going to pay so much for a 4.8 beer? It's because you're drinking it for the taste, you're not drinking it to get hammered. Not everything has to be a double IPA or a barley wine. And this is really complex and really enjoyable. And I'm sure someone with more experience in wild sours, Farmhouse Saisons, is going to go and come in the comments and maybe school me, because this is not a style that I've had a lot of experience with. It's a style I'd love to have a lot more experience with, examples of it are fairly thin on the ground here in Hawaii, but if you want to go and tell me for the style I should go and educate myself on, please leave a thing in the comment. I watched a video on how to go and bump up your YouTube thing, so leave a comment if you want to tell me what farmhouse styles, I should what beers are part of the farmhouse style that I should be trying, and leave a like if somehow you like my incredibly awkward, low effort beer reviews, which I do very copiously. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.